Who's actually going to get the most out of the DJI Mavic 4 Pro Creator Combo? If you're a filmmaker who needs 6K HDR footage, a real estate pro who can't afford a blurry Nightscape, or a content creator who wants a single package that lets you shoot, edit, and share without hunting for extra accessories, this might be the drone you've been eyeing. On the flip side, if you're just dabbling with occasional holiday shots, or you're looking for a cheap entry point to learn the ropes, the price tag and feature set could feel like overkill. And of course, you're probably wondering whether all those specs translate into real-world value or just marketing hype. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the first thing most buyers hesitate over: how easy is it to actually fly and get a great shot the first time you take it out? DJI's reputation for user-friendly interfaces shows up in the RC Pro 2 controller that comes with this combo. It has a built-in 5.5-inch display, so you're not forced to pair your phone and worry about glare or app crashes. The menu hierarchy feels familiar if you've used a previous Mavic. You scroll through the DJI Fly app on the screen, but most of the critical settings, exposure, ISO, shutter speed, are accessible with a few taps, and the UI gives you live histograms so you can judge exposure on the fly. In practice, that means a weekend photographer can launch the drone, set the camera to auto, and still walk away with a well-exposed frame, while a seasoned videographer can dive into manual mode without hunting through nested submenus. Autofocus confidence is a major selling point for the 100MP Hasselblad sensor. Hasselblad's phase detect pixels are spread across the entire frame, which gives the Mavic 4 Pro a lock-on speed that feels almost instantaneous, even when you're tracking a moving subject at 30 miles per hour. I tested it on a local bike race. The drone kept the rider in crisp focus from the start line all the way to the finish, despite rapid direction changes. That kind of reliability removes the hold and wait habit you often develop with older drones that hunt for focus, saving you both time and footage you'd otherwise discard. Low-light performance is where the 0.1 lux Nightscape rating really shows its teeth. Most hobby drones become noisy and grainy after dusk, but the Mavic 4 Pro sensor can pull a usable detail in a dimly lit park at the tail end of twilight. The 6K HDR video mode combines multiple exposures per frame, delivering highlights that retain texture without blowing out streetlights. For a real estate agent shooting a property after sunset, this means you can capture a warm glow exterior without needing to bring in external lighting rigs. However, you do need to give the camera a moment to settle when you transition from bright daylight to a dark scene. The auto ISO ramps up quickly, but there's a brief lag where noise spikes before the sensor stabilizes. It's not a deal breaker, just something to be aware of if you're chasing fast-moving night subjects. Stabilization is another area where DJI tries to differentiate itself. The Infinity Gimbal offers a full 360-degree rotation, which is handy for those creative flips where you want to keep the horizon level while the drone rolls. In real-world use, the gimbal smoothed out the wobble you'd expect when flying through a gusty afternoon at the beach. The result was a buttery smooth cinematic pan that didn't require heavy post-stabilization. The trade-off is a slightly heavier payload, so you'll feel the extra weight when you're holding the drone in your hands before takeoff, and the battery life reflects that. You get around 30-minute flights per charge, which matches the previous Mavic line but feels a bit tight if you're planning long-form shoots that require multiple passes. The combo does include a second battery, so swapping out on the field is straightforward, but you still need to plan your flight time. Speaking of batteries, confidence in the power system is bolstered by DJI's 2-year extended warranty that comes with this bundle. For professionals, that safety net can be the difference between a one-off purchase and a long-term tool. The batteries themselves use the familiar lipochemistry and have a smart management system that reports health status to the RC screen, alerting you before a cell degrades to a risky level. In my testing, the battery indicator was accurate within a few minutes, giving me enough heads-up to land safely rather than getting caught in a sudden drop. Now let's talk about storage. The 512 GB of onboard SSD is a game-changer if you're shooting in 6K RAW or taking a lot of high-resolution stills. You won't have to juggle multiple micro